Okay, so first of all, today we'll learn about variables and data types. First of all, so as you already know that what is variable, we just use variable for storing values, right? Uh, if I say a equals to 5, that means a is a variable where value 5 is stored, right? I mean, can you listen to me? I cannot
Yes, I
listen.
can. Yes, I can. Yes, I
Okay,
can.
okay. So if I just do like this, a equals to 1, what does it
A
mean?
five, five.
A equal, so you have to understand this, the name of the variable is a and the value of the variable is 1.
One.
Okay, and
Yeah.
what type of data it is? It is a type of integer, right? 1 is an
Mm.
integer.
Yeah.
That's why I have just marked it as an integer here. So
Yeah.
if I use another variable named b, and if I assign the value of b equal to 1.1, what does it mean? The
Float.
variable b has the value of 1.1, and the type of this data is float or double, whatever you call. And in mathematics, you have learned it. This is called decimal. But in case of Python, we call it float or double
Float.
in case of programming language. Okay. Now, uh, as this is a very basic class, you can say this is class 0, not even class 1. So
Okay.
we'll just have the basic knowledge about three types of data in case of Python, three types of data. So the first
Yeah.
one is integer, second one we have learned about, it is float, and the
Float.
third type of data which we want to learn, that
String.
is string. And
Used to
as
store things.
yeah, so what is a string? Basically sequence of characters. Okay, sequence of characters. And to declare a string in Python, what you need to do, this is a convention, you have to put a apostrophe. You are, have you quotation mark, have you seen? if i
Yeah.
if i if I assign a string like this, it will not work. It will not work. If I show you, it will give an error. It has given an error, you understood?
Yes.
Why it has given error? Because Ramin has been detected as a string in Python, but we haven't used the convention of string, which is to put quotation mark
Yeah.
at the two terminals of the string. Okay. Now, if we
Yes.
run it, it will work. Okay. So now, whatever we have learned so far, three types of data. One is integer. To assign a value of integer, we don't need anything. We can just simply write like this: integer 1, let's say the variable name is integer 1, equal to 100. So it will be an integer value, right? And if I tell I want to assign a float value, so let's say the variable is float 1 and the value is 100.25. And now if I tell you that I want to store a variable of string, let's name it str1, and let's call it Bangladesh. So is it correct now?
Yeah.
No?
Oh,
Could
no,
you
no, no. We need like those quotations.
yeah. So
Otherwise, it won't work.
yes. So now it will work, right?
Yes.
So how can the computer detect it is a string in Python? How can the machine detect it is a string? Tell me.
It will be stored, right?
Yeah. So how can Python detect that Bangladesh is a string? It will detect it as a string when it will see that at the very starting of it, there is a quotation
Yeah.
starting.
Otherwise, it won't.
Okay. Got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Sir,
now
a
there,
question.
yeah, question.
Any type of quotation mark or only the single one?
Okay, I'm coming to that. Now, there is a problem. Let's say I want to write a string like my name is my my pet's name is
Rami.
let's say no, you are not a pet. Its
Supon,
name is uh, whatever it is. Let's say Robert. Robert.
Okay.
Now we have learned to store a string. We need to use the quotation mark at the two terminals of the string. But now a problem has arisen here. You see, the problem is when I have used pets, this is an apostrophe s. So
Yes,
what
there is
will
a
what will the machine detect? The machine will detect just my pet as the string, okay?
yes,
Because you see the string has started from this quotation and ended here. But this s name is Robert. This will be treated as nothing in the machine. It will be treated as integer or not as a string, and it will give an error. You see, if I run this, it will give an error. It will give an
yeah,
error. Now, how to solve it? Now, what we can do, as we have used a single apostrophe inside our string, so we can just represent the whole string with the double quotation. So if I put double quotation at the very beginning and the double quotation at the very end, now it will work. Okay, now
yeah.
it will work.
So you put two single
Yeah,
quotation.
yeah. Now it will work. Okay, now if I run it, now it will work. Okay, now this whole thing is a string. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, now there is another problem. If there is such a case that you are using two apostrophe inside your string, then what you need to do, you have to use three quotation mark. We'll see that later on, not needed now. So
Yeah.
far, just understand three types of data we have learned: integer, float, and string. And to
Yes.
represent string, we need a default thing, which is quotation or apostrophe marks at the very two terminals of the string. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one thing which I want to teach you now, that this type of data is declared by the Python itself. Like whenever we have said integer one, int one equal to 100, what type of data is it is? Tell me. Int one equal to 100. What type of data it is?
The integer.
Integer. Okay. Now, if I say that I want to see the type of this data by the default code of Python, so what can I do? This is very simple. If you just write type and if you pass any variable inside it, which data type you want to see, let's say I am passing int1. So what was the data type of int1? You told me earlier. What was the data type of int1?
Integer.
Yeah, integer. So if I run this code, let's see what does it return. It has returned what? Int. That means the type of data preserved in int1 variable is integer. Okay. Now, if I just pass,
Yeah.
we stored C as Ramin. So if I want to see the type of variable C, what should it return? Tell me, what should it return?
C.
Type of C?
It will say string.
Very good, very good. So if I run this code, it will return me str, which means string. You understand? How can we see the data type in our compiler? How can we see the data type? Okay,
And if
now,
you type float, it will like return float.
yeah, if I write here float one, yes,
one,
float one, it will
float.
return float. Very good. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's come to the variable naming convention. So I have named variable in the previous time as a, b, c, int1, float1, str1. These are all correct variable naming. So we have to understand what is the correct variable naming and which type of variable naming we cannot use. There are some convention. Okay, we need to follow it. So the very first convention is it can have letters from a to z as a capitalized letter, also as a small letter. Okay, no problem. If you write a variable named like this, let's say variable equal to 5, it's okay, right? Because it has
it's okay.
also, if I write like this variable, it is also okay, right? Okay, it is okay. Now if I write like this a variable, that variable 1 equal to 5, this is incorrect. Why this is incorrect?
Because of the space.
Yeah, because of the space. So what we can do
You
here,
can
if we,
use like snake's casing.
yeah, I can use an underscore. I can use an underscore to
Yeah.
resolve the issue. So variable one, now it will work.
Yes.
Also,
Now,
so this is the very first ruling we have implemented. So can have letters from A to Z, can have digits and underscores, nothing else. Okay, no special characters. Understood? No
yes, sir.
special characters. Okay. Okay. So there should be no spacing. We have already mentioned it. If we want to make space, it must be filled up with an underscore. Okay.
Yeah.
So a variable can never start with a digit. Like if I name a variable named one variable equal to Ramin, it will not work. Okay, it will not
Yeah.
work. Why? Because the variable has started with a digit. It cannot start with a digit. Now,
Oh, so
if
it simply can't.
yeah, even if we put an underscore here, it will not work because
What if
it's
we in front of it? In front of it?
okay. So let's see. If I say in front of it, then this will work. Yes. So whenever I am putting an underscore in front of the digit, no longer the variable naming is starting with a digit. Okay, it is starting with a character, which is underscore.
Yeah.
So I hope you are clear about this ruling too. Next, go to this rule. Cannot have white space and special signs. I have already said these special signs cannot be put inside a variable name. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one important thing here. Let's say I am naming a variable named ABC equal to KFC. Now,
ABC.
I have named ABC, another ABC equal to
BFC.
BFC. Okay. Now tell me, this ABC and this ABC, are they case sensitive or not?
I don't think they are same.
Yeah, they are not same.
Because
Why
of
they
the
are not
caps lock.
same? Because Python is a case sensitive language. Okay.
Yes.
Here the capital letter and the small letter is treated as a different one. Okay. So
I see.
these are the two separate variables. This is what is said here. So are you clear about the variable naming convention?
Yeah, yeah.
I was here. We can show anything using a special method called print. Okay. So
Yes.
we had lots of variable assigned earlier, right? In the previous cells, we have assigned lots of variable. So let's say the variable
Yeah.
ABC represents KFC, right? Now, if I write a code like this, print, if I pass ABC inside it, it should show me what? Sorry, the code was not run. Okay, now it will work. So if I pass ABC inside print method, it will show me what? KFC, right? Have you got this?
Yes, KFC.
Yeah. If I pass print inside it, if I pass A,
Yeah.
what was the value of A? What was the value of A here? See, the value of A was 1. So it should print, it should show me what? 1. Now, one thing interesting here, which I must
Yes.
tell you, Python is a language which is run line by line. So in case of Python, the first line is executed first, then it goes to the second line, then it goes to the third line if it has any other line. Okay. How can we understand this? If I say that I
Yeah.
will print and I am passing a variable named Z here, is there any variable named Z? Have I assigned any variable named Z?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
There is no variable
No.
named Z. Okay, now what do you think? Does this print Z or Z should give any output? No, actually no, because there is no such variable, right? There is no
Yeah.
such variable named Z or Z. So here
But-
there must
But
be
if
an
you
error.
put like If
In
you put
this,
quotations on the Z, it will only show Z.
yeah, that is as a string, but I am trying to print whenever I am passing anything without quotation inside print statement, this refer to a variable. Okay,
Yeah.
you are telling like this, if I do this, yeah, this will
Yeah,
bring Z, but whenever I am not passing any quotation here, this Z represents a variable. But is there any
Oh, yeah,
variable
sir.
named, is there any
Sir,
variable what?
can I show you code? My code? Can I do a code?
At first try to understand here what I am trying to teach you. You're not getting into the point. If I run print Z here, should it be executed?
Nah, it can't.
Then what should it give? It must give an error, right?
Yeah.
But tell me, is there any wrong thing above 2 lines? Print A, B,
No.
C. Okay,
But
now
if you something like Z equal to this, then it will do
yeah,
it.
now if I run this code, try to understand very carefully here. This is a very basic thing, and this is the thing which will prolong to the end of your learning regarding Python. So if I run this code, see KFC, has it come as an output? Has it come
No.
as an output? Yes, here is KFC as an output.
Oh yeah. It
Then-
printed A, B, and
then-
A.
But when it has gone to line number 3, then came error. You understand?
Yes,
So-
because this is not even there. No.
The main gist of teaching this, whatever I have told you last 2 minutes, Python executes line by line. You understand? Line by line. At first,
Line by
Python executes first line and there is no error. That's why it executes first line. KFC is printed here. You understand?
Yeah.
Then it goes to the second line. There is no problem in second line. That's why
So
it has been executed. Whenever it has gone to third line, it has not
It
been
got
executed. Now,
Yeah.
this is a major difference among between Python and all other languages. If you ask Safwan, he uses Java. In case of Java,
It will just show, right?
this whole program will give an error. Okay, there will be no output like this KFC and 1, because
Yeah.
in case of Java and C++ or C, the total codes are run, executed at first to check if there is any error. Straightforward, it gives an error in the compilation.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
in case of Python, it runs line by line. Okay, got this point?
Yes.
Okay, I will see your code, but afterwards try to understand carefully now, then I will see you. Okay, now we want to see another topic named variable update. So what was the name of variable? What was the value of variable ABC? It was KFC, right?
But
So
you can change it.
yeah, so if I print ABC here, it must show KFC.
Yes.
Now if I assign ABC equal to 100, and now if I print ABC,
If
now
you
if
print
I
it will say 100 because it got updated.
yes, it got updated. Now, one thing you need to understand here. Tell me, I have given 2 print line, right? Here is a
Yeah.
print line. Here is another print line.
Yes.
Both of them are showing 100.
Yes.
You see, both of them are showing 100.
Yeah.
But this print line is above. Before this print line, first print line is before assigning the variable ABC as 100. You understand what point
Yeah,
I'm
but-
trying to make? So
Yeah.
according to you, the first one should be KFC, then second one should be 100, right?
But it's not.
But it's not. So actually, in today's basic class, I don't want to take you to that level. It happens due to a function execution process. We will get to this probably in the 5th or 6th week, So you need not to understand this at this moment. Just try to understand variable can be updated, right? So
Yes.
if ABC equal to 50 here, after ABC is, I have assigned ABC as 100 now, it is no more 50. It has been updated to 100. And if I print ABC, it has got updated to 100 and it shows 100. I hope you understand this very clearly. Now we are moving to type conversion. So you have to understand that type conversion is such a thing where we can convert the data type in Python. Now, so far we have learned about just 3 types of data, right?
Yeah.
Integer, float, and string. Now, let's say we have a string named str1, just naming a variable, and it's called Bangladesh. The data type of it, this is, what is the data type of Bangladesh here? String. Now, for let's say we have another data type called float1. It is 50.65. Next we have an integer named 100. Now what I want to tell you, these are the 3 data types we have understood so far. Now if I want to convert this float into integer, what I need to do, I need to do this thing. I want to make this float1 into the data type of integer. So I write like this, int of float1. What does it do? See, so float1 was 50.65, right?
Yeah.
But whenever I have put an int method before it and I have passed float1 inside it, it is converting float1 into integer. 50 only, because it will just convert me into the integer, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I want to convert this integer1 named variable, integer1 variable into float, what should it be? If you convert 100 into float, what should be the value? Just tell me this.
Let me do it 1 second.
No, don't do it in your code. Don't do it in your code. Just tell me what should be the value if you want to convert 100 from integer to decimal. Not needed. Not, you don't need to code right now.
It will be 100. It will stay as 100, I think.
Yeah, 100. But as we are considering the float value, it should be 100.0, right? 100.0.
Yes, it will be the point.
So if we want to convert anything into float, we just write float and we pass the specific value we want to convert. So for this case, int1. Now it will be 100.0. You see, 100.0. All right. Now,
yes.
Now there is a question that can we convert string into integer or float? The answer is simply no. Why no? You can just test it by yourself. If I want to convert into 1 into string, it will give me an error. Sorry. We can actually convert the integer into string. Okay, we can convert the integer into string, but if I want to convert the float float1 into string, will it work? Let's see. It will also work, but what will not work is if I want to convert, let's say I want to convert this Bangladesh into integer. So for this, what I need to do, I have to put an int and inside it I have to pass str1. So this will not work. Now Bangladesh cannot be converted into a specific integer.
Bangladesh point.
No, that is not logical.
Yes, that is not possible.
Okay. Now there is a huge thing to understand here. There are lots of depth we have just touched. Now I will test one by one. I will go on by one. So whenever, let's say I have converted the last line. Just look at the last line. Look at the last line. What does it do? We have converted this float1, that means 50.65 into which data type? String. Okay. Now here comes the part. I will ask you a question. You need to answer.
Yeah.
Before converting it into string, if I did like this, float1 plus, let's say 1, এর সাথে 1 আমি অ্যাড করে দিলাম, তাহলে value should be 50.65. If I add 1 with it, it becomes 51.65, right?
Yeah.
But I want to do the same process, but after converting the float into string. Should it work?
No.
Sure.
Wait. I think it will work.
It will work. But now, let's say after converting float 1 into string, I have named this variable as converted. This is a converted thing, right? This one
Yep.
is converted. Why have I written converted? Just to make you understand that after converted, this float 1, that means 50.65 has been converted to string, right? So
Yeah.
what does the, please try to be very attentive here. Tell me one thing. What does this variable converted store inside it? Tell me.
The float which was converted into string.
Very good. So what is the data type of converted right now at this moment?
It's string because
Very good.
it's converted.
Very good. Now, if I make this addition process with converted plus 1, will it work?
Yeah, it will just add 1 to the your converted string.
No, this will not work. This will not work. See why? Okay. Now, try to understand very carefully. So we have understood the concept of string as a sequence of character, right? Sequence of character.
Yeah.
Now when you have converted this float value into a string, do you understand what does Python consider 5 when it is string? Just as a character, okay, not as a number. Yes. Then 0 as a character. Then this point is not point anymore as a string. It is simply a character, okay? This is like a dot.
Like letters?
Like letters, exactly, like letter. You understand? So can letter be added to a number? Can letter be added to a number?
No way.
That's why it has given an error. Have you understood this concept?
Yes.
This is a very basic, but this must be understood. Lots of students get confused here. Okay, so that's why we have got an error here. So what we have understood from this, I just want to wrap up here. You just try to focus whatever I am telling. Check mark, you understood it. We can convert integer into string. Okay.
Yeah, of course we can.
We can convert float to string.
Yeah.
We cannot convert string to
float
neither integer. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. String is the character entirely.
Very good. So this was the type conversion. I hope you got it. Now, very last thing, then I will go to you to see whatever you have done. I'm enthusiastic to see your stuffs too. Last one is for today. This is very simple. So far, whatever we have done, this is just we are assigning something. We are not giving our user any scope to enter something, right? But I want my user to enter something that should be handled by my user. That's why we need to take the input, right? So for taking input, we use a method called like this, input. This is an input method, okay, in Python. This is the input method. So if you just run this, it takes an input, okay? It takes an input, okay? And any input. Now, what is the data type of this input, whatever you have taken? Can you tell me? We can check it. Let's say, try to understand. I have named a variable A, and inside this A, something will be input by the user, right? This line of code means this. Something will be input by the user, and that will be stored inside the variable what? A. You got it?
Yes. Can you repeat? My internet was bugging.
Okay. So whenever I have written A equals input and I have put this input method, this is called method. Just try to understand, whenever we are using a method, it does something by default. So whenever we are using input method, it takes input by default from the user. That means me. If I run this, it will take an input from me. It will take an input from me. So my question is here, the variable named a is taking an input, right? Are you clear up to this?
Yes.
Okay, let's say the input is I'm giving 10. Now I want to see the type, data type of this input. So I am writing type of a. See, what is the data type by default as a whenever we take any input in Python? So if I want to take, if I want very under careful, if I want to take an integer as an input in Python, will it work?
No, I think.
No.
No.
So what we need to do? We need to convert the data type of it, because string can be converted to integer, right?
Yes.
So if I want to take a integer value as an input, so what I need to do? I just need to convert it. So now if I give 10, what should it be? The data type of it, see?
Integer.
Have you got it up to this? Have you got?
Yes.
Okay, now if I want by default a float value, what should I write here? Float. Okay.
Float and
So
Sir,
now,
does it randomly generate a thing? That does it randomly generate an input?
No. I am giving from my keyboard.
Oh, I see.
You can also give it. You will practice it. No problem. Just a moment.
I thought 10 randomly popped up.
No. I am giving it. Okay.
I see.
So now I can take input like this. Let's say I want to take an input name. Name is the variable. So I will tell that this must be, name must be a string, right? Name cannot be 1, 2, 3. It cannot be 1, 2, 3. Basically, very logical. Okay, so I will just write input, and inside it, I can just for my user-friendly interface, I'm telling write your name. Write your name. So
Write your
write your name. Okay. This is a very common mistake, just keyboard mistake.
Wow.
So this will show me write your name. I can write here the name of Ramin. This so far, nothing else. Okay, then I also want to take the input of let's say Ramin's student ID. So ID, let's take another variable, and this ID will be an integer. That's why I'm declaring it as an integer. Okay, so now I will say that enter your ID. Enter your ID. So if I run this much, so at first write your name, then I will press enter, then it will say enter your ID. Let's say 1, 5, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. ID. This much is done. Have you understood up to this how this is working?
Yeah.
Now let's say I want to, after taking the input, I want to show the user that this is your name and this is your ID. Very simple. So I'm writing like this, print to show. Okay, to show, we write like this, your name is, this is a string, this will be shown. And if we want to,
sir, net died.
Yeah, so we'll say name. Your name is, why name? Because this variable has been named as name. So whatever name will be input here, that will be shown here. If it is Ramin, it will show Ramin. If it is Samin, it will show Samin. Okay, like this.
Sir, internet. Wait.
Okay.
Sir, can you repeat?
Yes. Wait.
Sir, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Just wait a minute.
Hello.
I can hear you. Can't you hear me?
Sir,
can
my
you hear
internet
me?
for a bit.
Can you hear me now?
Hello, sir. Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So where we were?
Sir, my internet went a bit. Can you repeat?
Yes, I'm repeating. So we have taken the input from someone, his name and his ID. Now we just want to display it. Okay, we just want to display it. So for displaying, we know we have to use print method, right? And inside print, I have shown like this: your name is.
Yes.
It will be run, and then comma. This comma will be separated because I want to show the name just from the input. Okay, that's why I have put in. I have put a name here. If it was just n,
Name.
then I will put n here. Okay, got it? And before it there is no apostrophe, there is nothing.
Yeah.
Variable is just variable. Got it?
Yeah.
So name. And then I want to show him that your ID is ID. Why ID? This ID just I have. If it was not ID, if it was ID, then I put ID here. Okay, ID here. So this is a very basic program. What will it do? Let's say name is Ramin Samin and ID is 12345 6. Now it will just show you your name is Ramin Samin, your ID is 12345 6. If it was someone Kalam and ID is 78910, then it will show your name is Kalam, your ID is 78910. Very simple. Up to this, are you clear? Are you clear up to this? Okay. So we have some operations like this is very basic thing. A equal to 10 and B equal to 5. I will just show you the very basic operations today. So if I run A plus B, it will give me 15. If I say A minus B, it will give me 5. If I say A multiplied B, that means multiplication is represented with the star mark. A multiplied B, this will give me 50. And if I say A divided B, this will give me 2. Why 2.0? Tell me.
2.0 because because of the system of like Python.
No, the data type it's returning as a float. That's why. If you type the we can very easily see it. Data type of data type of A divided by B, the data type is float. That's why. Also, if you want to see the data type of multiplied form, let's say it is int. So what we understood from here, by default, whenever something is divided, the quotient is returned in the form of what? Float. But the product is returned as in the form of integer because it was integer earlier. Okay. So there are lots of operations we'll see in the next class. For this class, up to this, I will provide you this note. Whatever I have written, I will provide you this. And now I am going to see some of your works.